Hey everyone, welcome to another session of That's How I Roll. This is Greg, and so tonight I'm going to jump back in with my my party of three: Emrib, Shireen, and Hemel. And one of the things I did is I was watching a video, and the guy inspired me. He had a map of that he had made of his ShadowDark campaign, and I thought, I ought to expand my map out. So like this is my original world that I did, and technically I had enough room to do it on this map. But what I'm going to do is, and I might add them back on. No, I won't, because I already have this here. But anyway, so I took this and I got a piece of graph paper, and it's kind of hard to see what all the lines are kind of the hexes, and so I went ahead and put my little world here, and I expanded it out another hex around, and I thought about just keep going on a little bit so I could get a wider map, because after a while I've been playing a few adventures. A pencil. Been playing a few adventures where they're kind of out and about and rolling an adventure and just playing it, and I thought, they're still low level, but I thought about trying to maybe tie back into the campaign a little bit that I had started. I go back and forth, and I think everybody does this, kind of keeping things fresh and what you're doing in your world. And so I just thought to kind of look at it again, step back, look and think, what are something I could do to maybe add another flavor? Because really what I'm trying to find as I'm doing this channel is finding a good rhythm of what I like. And so I was going to do the solo session thing. Life just got in the way. The nature of my job and my family obligations, it just got into a point where, yeah, I could create an adventure every day, but it just got it just kind of got hectic the last couple of weeks. So, last week or so. So I was just like, hey, it's a great idea, and I hope, I know he's being able to play every day. And what he does is he has this campaign, and he's playing a couple of days, and he kind of he does a video and wraps it back up. And I was just trying to think of a way that I could go back and tie in all the work that I did at the beginning by creating my world and my my NPCs and stuff. And I have I sat down and I have a lot of things that were going on by going back, looking through my adventures of the demon thing going on and the vampire going on, and all these, I think it's in here that I have it, where I did my circle map, and I have all these things that are going on with the Cursed Citadel, involve not Emrib and Undead, which I've kind of solved that thread. I also thought about looking at Mythic a little bit and putting some of these things on a thread, how they do it, and try to maybe tie a little bit of Mythic into this as I go. But I just thought, I really don't want to add too much. I still want to stick as close as I can to ShadowDark and ShadowDark book. I know Kelsey uses Mythic in hers, but I really don't think she used it as much. She's kind of used it at the beginning with the Chaos Factor, but it really seemed like as it went along, she really didn't need it as much. She relied a lot more on the ShadowDark stuff. And so I think everything is here. The only thing that they do have is where you can do threads, and you could tie threads together. And I might do that because I was thinking about it. Threads, adventures, NPCs, and when you roll the Chaos Factor, things can get interrupt scenes and stuff like that as a grander campaign. And I thought, well, maybe I could do something like that. But so what I did was I expanded my map, and as I was doing it, I thought, what I ought to do? I already had 5 locations. I had Iron Bridge here in the middle. I had the Ruins of Lost Twilight up here. I have the Castle of the Cursed Skull here. I have the Undercity, and I had up here, I had the Castle of the Forgotten King. And so I thought, wouldn't it be interesting, let's try this, is if I had 6 locations around Iron Bridge that my adventures could take place of. Because just because they've been to the castle doesn't mean that they've, you know, a lot of times when you go to these dungeon areas, like most of them in modules and stuff, they have different levels, right, of dungeons and stuff. So really what you would do is you go to the dungeon, you would do a part of it, then you go back to town, right? And that's why when Kelsey does West Marches, that's what you're going to see a lot of. You know, you have the town, they go out, they go into a dungeon, or they go to adventure, and then they come back. So I thought about, well, what if I just make mine a little more West Marches? I went ahead and got 2 more. I rolled, and I got 2 more points of interest, so I have 6. So what I could do is, as each night as I set up to do my adventure, I can roll a d6, and this will allow me to say it could be in one of these, whatever's going on is going to be in these things, and then I can start to tie it into one of these locations around Iron Bridge, and then I could start to tie some of the NPCs, and going back and using this a little bit. I thought, let's try that a little bit. Let's see how that goes, because really they've just been doing adventures, and I think they've kind of built up where they each have like a magic weapon of some kind. And now you know, Hamill has the in the last adventure he got the long sword of the Weeping Blade, so it's a +2 long sword that has drips ocean water. And what's kind of cool is if you see my map, so this is my regular map that I started on, and then I added this one. Look how much water is around, and really there's like one little segment of land that kind of goes out and goes through, and so there's a lot of water here. And I bet if I keep going, these are either going to be giant seas or lakes, or maybe this is an island. I don't know. Maybe I'll go water all the way around it and it ends up being that they're on an island. I'm not positive, but as you can see, I have forests as green. This area right here is grasslands. The blue is water. Mountains are here, and when I rolled here, it was either coastline or a river, and so I have a river that flows out of the mountains down into this body of water. And then, as you know, I have the water here, and it flows through this hex, and the Iron Bridge is what connects over this water, right? Over this little like landmass. There's an iron bridge that goes here. And so the area just slims down to like a little neck, and then goes back out. And so I thought, my guys have been out adventuring, they come back, and they all, you know, like they're not high level, even they're really close to, he's close to 3rd, she's halfway to 4th, and he's close to 3rd as well. So I thought, how about I bring them back? I'll roll my adventure, I'll roll what the site is, and then as they go back to these sites, it's just going to be another level of the dungeon. So instead of me having this like dungeon map with like multiple levels, right? I can just have what every time they go back to this dungeon, they're exploring another aspect or level of it. And I thought that's a pretty cool idea, and I can start to tie some of these loose ends, because I got Mora with the demons, I have Madeira, we have Power and Korg, if you remember the wizard that was at the beginning who got attacked, and there's a vampire that's around in this area. You have the Dwarven Ruins, and we have the, you know, like I said, the vampires, the demon area, the Cursed Citadel that we don't know what's going on out there. And so I added 2 more areas. I was sitting here and I numbered wrong when I wrote them down for whatever reason, but number 4 is out here in the ocean, well, this watery area, is the Undercity of the Lightning Descendant. I have no idea what that means. And then number 6 is the Barrow of the Prophesied King. So I have the Castle of the Forgotten Dwarven King up here in the mountains, and I have here in this river era a Barrow of the Prophesied King. And really what kind of got me thinking about this is I'm reading a book, The Greatest Night, on William Marshall, and it talked about that William Marshall, or his dad John Marshall, had a castle that was 14 miles from another castle, and in between it, the area was full of ancient barrows, how you want to call them, and stone, not temples, but stone, like Stonehenge type things. And so ancient ruins. And I thought, wow, how many, they talked about there's a lot of them between just 14 miles were these areas of these ancient stuff. So it makes sense that even though you have a main city, that you would have these kind of areas. So I thought what I'd do is I'd roll, and if I rolled a 1, it'd be Iron Bridge, and it would mean that the adventure takes place in an urban setting in Iron Bridge somehow, some way. So I thought, well, let's do that. So I'm gonna put my little world thing over here. Well, I'm gonna need this because I need to what my D6 roll is going to be. And so these are going to be my locations, and I'm going to roll tonight for the adventure. So this would be session number, I think it's session 10. The last one session, I can't, so I think it's session 10. Okay, so my plan for my adventure tonight is going to be, I'm going to roll a d6, and I'm going to find out what, where it's going to take place. So my black dice if I need it. These are the dice I have been using. Alright, D6, 3. So it's going to take place, they're going to go back to the Castle of the Cursed Skull. So, like I said, they're back in their home base of Iron Bridge. They're going to the Castle of the Cursed Soul. There's number 10. Session 10 is session 11. Is it? River, Steam Bats. Dang. There's session 9. This is session 10. Oh yeah, this is a session I rolled that I was going to put up, and so this is not going to be the one I play tonight. Session 10. Okay, and so it's going to take place in the Castle of the Cursed Skull. Okay, and so let's roll the adventure. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to roll an adventure, and then I'm going to roll, or I can roll on the Oracle, right? And so it just makes you, Castle District, just to get something, that was I know, spit it out, Greg. It made me think about the, when I'm watching like Me, Myself, and Die and all that, he can create his whole adventure just with the Oracle, and with his threads and that type of stuff. And I find that just the prompts could be a way, but it's a little more, you have to think of with the prompts in the middle of how your adventure is going right now. So let me do an adventure generator, and I'm going to do the prompts as well. 8, spy on 15, spy on the relic in the Mirkwood. Now we know, if you've been following my adventures, that in the Mirkwood is where the that can't be on here. So it's going to be spy on a relic, because it's going to be in the we know what it's going to do. So spy on a relic is going to be really my adventure generator of these two things. use some or all of the details and names you roll. So I'm going to use the first two because I know it's going to take place in the Castle of the Cursed Souls. Spy on the relic. And so the let me roll on here. I think I already have an idea, but let's see if this builds upon it. Surprise. Man, I roll a lot. Surprise battle. Okay, so if I take Spy on a Relic, what I'm going to do is it's going to be that because we know that it's something that's going, if you remember way back when in my campaign, the Citadel is cursed. And you know, we went into one of the first adventures we went into, there was they had the where's my book? One of my first adventures I did, it took place in the Citadel and of the Cursed Skull, and it was freed a hunter in the catacombs that a hunter had gotten in one of the caves that he had went into. It's really my first adventure. He had gone in there and but they were starting to realize that the treasures that they brought out a treasure, which people were amazed that there was still that stuff was popping up in there, because the Citadel had been there for a long time, and there had been adventurers who had gone into it before, and they had thought that most things had been, but I'm going to say that what's going to be the catalyst of my adventure is that they use Torgan a lot, and I think he's the main, he's the guy who owns the stonemasons, Trojan the Dwarf. I think he's the one who is the most best NPC for this, because he's the one who has given them he's nervous that they're back, because I think he sent Shireen away because he was concerned about her, and but also they have the Rangers cabin that they can be living in that's out in the forest. If you remember, that belonged, it'd be Imrib's cabin, that he took over as, because remember the Ranger died, and so him being a Ranger friend, so he had his cabin. So they're back in there, and that Trojan is worried about. There had to be spy on a relic, so there had to be a relic that was maybe put there years ago to kind of keep the curse from spreading. And so their mission is he's going to ask them to go and go into the castle area itself and check on to find out if the relic, and his thing is going to be that the relic was there and that it's hidden so that no one would steal it and take it. I think that makes good sense. And so he is going to go check. They want him to go check to make sure that it is still there, and if that is missing, it could be one of the reasons, because I got spy on a relic, and that's the only thing I can really think of, is that they need to go and make sure that this relic is still in its place. And Trojan is found out, maybe he found out about it, that he thinks that the reason that they're there, and when they get there, it's going to be a surprise battle that's taking place over this relic. That's going to be the gist of it. So they're going to take off for this town, and so I'm going to create my ShadowDark map, rolling my d6. 3. It's a medium dungeon, which is 8. You know, I haven't one thing I want to ask questions as I draw this out to people is the fact that, you know, my videos, a lot of it's because I'm not, you know, I make it up as I go on the fly. I don't show up with pre-mades. And would it be better in the comments if you could tell me, or or if you follow me on, I'm on the ShadowDark, SoloDark server. But if you see me there, you can send me a DM or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you think that it would be better for me that my videos are too long, and that you would rather see them to be shortened by me just showing up with the adventure already and just get going. I don't mind that. And so we know it's going to be ruins. And so if you think that's the case, then let me know. If you think it'd be better, for my channel, I'm not too concerned about, I'm not one to worry about my growth of the channel. That's not why I do this. I'm not doing this to get, I know that I'm limited in what I do anyway, because I'm a solo channel, and I know I'm pretty bare bones solo channel. I'm not one of fancy videos and stuff, and very low tech. And so I just want to make sure that if you think of ways that I could do it, I am going to add more games. What I don't want to do is, I'm hoping that people are here for the solo and not here, they like the channel because they're interested in solo in different games, not just ShadowDark, because I am going to definitely and I will tell you this, I will be moving locations soon, back to my home, and once I get there, I am going to I will have a little bit, I can work more on building up my channel. And just on a side note, while I'm working this out, everybody looks at my map that I got here, which I got from Runehammer Games. He does have, this is the one that goes with Crown and Skull. He does have, I just ordered one. He has ones that don't have, they're nothing on them, they're just blank. And he calls them do-it-yourself maps. I ordered one of his new regions called Orland, I believe it is. And I'm going to probably somehow use it until we get, West Marches. I think I'm going to use it because it doesn't have, you can put your towns and everything on the map. I think I'm going to somehow transpose what I'm doing here to use that map so I can have a map. And then when I get home, I can have miniatures and all this kind of stuff. But the one thing I am going to do when I get home is going to be start other games I own. And right now I'm looking at maybe out in Dragonbane or Conan of the Hyborian Age. They have a new Monolith has a new RPG coming out, and I have the board game, so I could have the miniatures and stuff with the maps, which I think would be cool to play. And then the third one I picked up is Black Powder and Brimstone by Free League, which is that I'm looking at as well. So I really want to try some, and then we're going to do the Beck Me Duo game coming up, and so that's going to be fun. Okay, so here's going to be the castle area that they're going into. And so the relic has to be, that's where the treasure is, so that has to be here at 10. So what I did is I'm just showing you guys again how to create adventures by using the book. You can roll the dice where they land, and you can draw the map. I just like to use hex maps. It's just easier for me. And so I'm going to connect these things. But as you can see, I have surprise battle that's going on. So I have monster mobs and a solo monster. So the one thing I'm going to ask the Oracle is, this surprise battle, is it two enemies that are fighting over the relic. Like, are these, so there's an NPC right here, but are these, this monster, and major, these in a solo monster, are they all the same? Or is there a, when I'm going in, there's a surprise battle going on? And so what I could do is make it, instead of these being separate rooms, these are separate encounter type of the dungeon that I'm thinking about. Like, here's the relic, and my people have to, they get in, and the major hazard could be them coming into the dungeon, the castle, and from a more, try to sneak in from a more hazardous place, or here's the empty, they could come in. But when they come in, this is really like a courtyard area of the map. I could draw it out where, and this is the inner, like, this is the courtyard, and then there's an the relic is in this, it has steps that's going up, and God, I'm just kind of drawing my map, and that this is the room. There's a room here, right? And maybe this is a crumbled wall that is here, and the way they come in, this is the gate, and like this. And so what we have here is area where these monsters are all battling. Let's see. I mean, that could help my thing. So I'm gonna test the oracle. I'm gonna ask, is there a battle of monsters going on in the, and that could get complicated in here, but to have my guys go through all these monster mobs could be difficult as well. So is there it says surprise battle, so I have to say that it's pretty good chance that it is. So I'm going to, because of what I rolled, I'm going to say on the oracle, likely or certain, roll the oracle with advantage. Before making decide how likely your question will be a yes. So, oops, a 9 and a 7. So that would be no. So no, there isn't a surprise battle going on. It is not a battle with them. But are they battling this NPC? There's got to be some kind of battle going on here. So the mobs, we're going to be together. Let's see, is there a battle in this NPC? 17. So that would be yes, but yes, but so he is engaged with, so there's a battle between this NPC and these monster mobs. Or is this NPC, these are separate rooms, and this NPC here, I like the idea of, you know what, I'm gonna, because I have so many monster mobs, what I'm wanting to do is I'm just gonna cross these out, and I'm gonna make this a courtyard, right? So when my guys make it into the dungeon, they get this far, and they come into an area where there's a monster mob, and the solo, okay, yes, but, so that means, yes, he's in battle with these monster mob here. But, okay, they are battling, but he is not on the side of my characters. So there is a battle going on, and this solo monster, is he with the NPC or is he with the mob? I'm gonna say he's with the monster mob, but let's see. More than likely he's with the monster mob. 19, yes. So, oh, you know what? Yes, but. So let's say he's a solo monster. There's a 3-way battle they walk into. And this is going to be the empty, this is going to be the way they walk in. This is the way the party's going to come into. And so when they come into this courtyard at the Castle of the Skull, outside of this temple area where they were told that the relic resides, there's a battle going on, surprise battle. And this is quite cool, I like it. It's a surprise battle going on. So I have a monster mob And so let's see what the monster mob, 2d6. White is going to be first. 5/5, primitive vermin. Okay. Well. I think I know who these belong to. The solo monster. 1/2, a sneaky brute. And you know my favorite sneaky brute is the bugbear. I think he's just, I don't, you know, because they're known for their sneakiness, and I don't think, yeah, there's not a sneaky giant, but if I think of a big brute, sneaky brute is just bugbear, because you know their definition just screams. I know I use them a lot, but I think they're bad. A brutish, bat-eared goblinoid covered in brown fur, and he's stealthy. Sneakle brute. And so, I love that. So, this will be my bugbear again. So, he's there, and then I have an NPC. So my NPC is, I'm going to roll him on the rival crawlers. Let's see what I get real quick. D12, a 5, he's an elf. 3, elf thief. A D6. Neutral. And then, well, let's do his renown. 3, he's locally known. So he's from Iron Bridge. What's his secret? He betrayed an oath. Seeing how that, I ain't gonna worry about his so I think that's the best, because an NPC, all they're gonna give me is praise out loud on it, so I ain't worried about that. So he's a rival crawler. Oh, wait a minute. I do have this 4. He's wounded. Okay. So it's an elven thief who has snuck into the he is here to, here's a thief right here. So he is in, came in, he is wounded. There's a huge battle going on between these primitive vermin. I'm going to say that the primitive vermin is going to be, oh man, the only thing I can think of is a rat. I mean, I don't know why. Why can't I think of more vermin? But, excuse me. Primitive vermin. Well, that could be that they're just, it's a monster mob. So it's giant rats is going to be in here, and it's going to be 1D. So it's a mob, so 1D4. Or it's a swarm. As we know, rat swarm, because a rat swarm, they're dangerous anyway. Okay, so my party comes into the area, and they sneak in, and they were able to make it. And as they come up into this courtyard, I see a wounded elf into the corner, who is neutral. Thief, you know, he's wounded in the corner. We see a bugbear battling. Even though he's wounded, the thief is still going to be able to fight. And so I have a 3-way party going on. And my party has no idea. Surprise battle, which I rolled. So they have no idea. So Imrib and Hamel are walking up and they're like, they hear the sound of combat going on. And they creep up and they look in and they're like, they're looking and they kind of can't believe themselves. They see this battle going on with this thief in the corner who's, they don't have a bow. So he's got a short sword who's trying to fight off a mob, some of the vermin. And then they have a bugbear who is also in conflict with this vermin. So I'm going to say that these two are kind of teamed together right now trying to fight off this vermin. So I'm going to roll Anish for everyone. So this ought to be interesting. Bugbear, something different. Elf, rat swarm, and then party. Okay, so the bugbear, roll his, he's a 2. Let's see if he have any pluses on his dex. I don't know if they get plus on anything, but I'll 0, so he rolled a 2. The elf rolled a 4. There was a thief. And this is going to be chaotic. Plus 2 on dex, so he rolled a 6. Rat swarm. Let me use some of these things here. Has 0 dex. They rolled a 4. Wow. And my party always rolls to 12. So the party goes first. So the party can't decide what to do because they're like, wow, look at this conflict. But they're going to guess, just seeing the elf would be the place that they would be more likely. They know him. He's locally known. So they know this elf. And so let me get a name for my locally owned elf. I'm just going to go to NPC names for for elves. It's easier. 13. It's Rin Ariel. I think this could be good. Rin Ariel could be male or female. So let's roll. 1, 2, 3, 6. So it's a female. So they see Renariel, trying to fight off this mob, and they also see the bugbear, and so they're going to say Hamel. Oh, he's the priest. He has this hound too, the mastiff. Oh, and I got a cool photo for him tonight when I put up on the stuff. So Shireen is going to try to she will use her bow and will try to attack, will fight. She will use her bow and she will attack the rats. And so I'm going to give her backstab because they don't know that she is there. They're all in conflict. And with backstab, if the creature you attack is unaware, you can add an extra weapon die of damage. And an additional weapon dice of damage equal to half your level rounded down. So she's 3rd. So that'd be 1.5. So I guess you'll add another +1. Additional dice of damage. So that'd be it. No, she's still at 1. Okay. So she's going to attack with her bow. 13, rat swarm. 10 armor class. Okay, and so they have, how many hit points? 28. Okay. Now again, the elf isn't friendly to them. That she's on her own mission to get this relic. For who, we don't know. But, so 13, so she has her longbow, which does serene, and she has a short bow, which is 1d4. And she gets to add an additional 1d4. She does 3 points of damage. 25 to the rat swarm. And so that's her attack. Imrib is going to, he did this last time, I don't want to do it. So he's going to try to, before he goes into combat, you know, he would have cast mage armor before he got there. Let's see if he would have, if that happened. Natural 20, so he has his mage armor on. Because he would have done that before he went in, he would have done this. So mage armor, we gave him a, what's it? Mage armor is armor class of 14, so he's a 14 right now. Okay, so he is going to cast magic missile into the swarm. Whoops. 2, but they always start with luck tokens. He has 2. He's going to re-roll. Go down to 1. They always start with luck tokens equal to their level. 4, so he doesn't. So his magic missile is poof. So he has no magic missile. I'm going to go here. So I'm going to write on the Imrid magic missile. Missile. He's like pss, 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 not shooting anything. And then Hamel has his crossbow. He's going to let loose the crossbow towards the rat swarm. 8. And he has nothing on dexterity, so he misses as well. Man, that's terrible. So the rat swarm is going to attack 1, 2, 3. It's the elf. 4, 5, 6 is the bugbear. They're attacking the elf. A 15. And he has an armor class of 13. So the elf has 13 hit points. And they do they got 4 bites. Attack 4, so it's going to be 2 on him. They hit him twice. I think they hit the bugbear twice. Yep, bugbear got hit. Wow, the rat storm's taking it, and then they miss. So they're all going to, the bugbear has 14 hit points. He's going to take 1. He's 13. Elf takes 1. He's down to 12. He was already wounded, so well, I was going to make him start at 13. So he is down to 12, and he has. So then they have to make a con save. 8. And the thief have any con bonus? Nope. So he takes. Oh wait, here. 1d4 con damage. So he takes 4 on his con. So it'd be a 0. So I'm gonna say he starts with a 10. So his con is 10. It's down to 6. And then the bugbear, he saves, so he's good. So now the bugbear is going to attack. The elf is going to swing with their sword. A nat 20. So they do. He does. Oh, he does a short bow. 1d6. Two points of damage plus another one. 8 points. That's good. Okay. And so in the bugbear, he's going to swing back. 17. The bugbear hits. Oh, he's got 2 attacks. The thief has 1 attack. So he hits and he misses. So he does spiked mace, 1d6, 2 points of damage. and not at half yet. Okay, so we're going to roll in this again. Bugbear is 12. Thief is at 9, 8, 9, excuse me. Wow, 20 on the rat storm. Man, that, and then the party, 18. And I'm sure they got some pluses, but it's okay. All right, so the rat swarm reaches out. 2 attacks on, let me get my black dice here. 2 attacks on the elf. 8 and an 8, that's a miss. 2 attacks on the, 13 on the bugbear. He hits, he takes 1 more points of damage. So he's down to 12, and then he's got to make a save. Which he doesn't, he fails, so he takes 1d4 con damage. I'm going to give him a 10 as well. Wait, he's got +1, so +1 is... So he's got a 12. So he's down to 9. 12, he's down to 9. Okay. So then it's rat swarm and then the party. So the party is going to continue. She's going to shoot her arrow in. So 7 plus, I think she hits because she's got +3. So she hits with 1d4. She's got an 18 dex, 17 dex. So 2. So it's down to 13. I will make a morale check right now because it's down below the half their point. 19, they make it. So Imrib doesn't have, he has sleep, and that's not going to work. So he really doesn't have anything that he can do. So he's going to hold back because his magic missile's So he's going to, so Hamill's going to fire another crossbow. She's not really, ooh, a nat 20. So crossbow is 1d6. Ooh, wow, that's nice. He does 11, they're down to 2. Okay, and so the bugbear is going to swing. He's got 2 attacks. 10 and a 17. I think that hits because the rats need a, I think there is a 10. Rat swarm. I know I use a lot of the same monsters, but hey, doesn't really matter. Yep, 10. Oh, he's going to easily do 2d6. He's got +3 to hit. Bam. So he just fends off the, so he looks, and I'm going to make the bugbear, he looks, he sees the party off to the left, off to his right. He sees the elf who's fighting there too, and he's vastly over it. So he is, okay, so here's going to be the oracle. Does he flee is going to be the first question. Does he look and say, hey, I'm out, man? He's somewhat intelligent, I would say. I mean, it's -1, but he is a 8. No, he does not flee. The question is, does he attack or does he attack? No, he does not attack. So that means he is going to dash into the area for the relic. That's going to be his move. So let me make initiatives to see, because the party already, so the elf hasn't gone. So the elf sees he sees the bugbear kill all the rest of the rats. He's free. He turns, he looks, and he sees the bugbear looking like the bugbear is about to run, and so he's going to take off towards him with his sword. He's going to attack with a short sword. So he's going to run at the bugbear. 3, and he misses. Okay, so on the next round, let's see, the bugbear He rolled a 1 on his initiative. The elf rolled a 6. And the party, a 9. Okay, so the party goes first. So he's starting to run, and he started seeing the arrows coming out. He looks over, the elf dead, and so she looks. Renaya looks over there, and she's like, she sees him, and she's like, help! She's like, help me! He's going after the treasure, and they're wondering like, what is you even doing here? But because they know her, they are going to decide to attack. So Shireen's going to turn his bow, fire it at the bugbear. 17 plus 3, she hits. And she does 1 through 4. She does 3 points to the bugbear. The elf is engaged with the bugbear, so the elf runs up here. Okay, and so Hamel is going to, I mean, he's in his leather armor and it's got a sweeping blade. Oh yeah, he beheads on a 20. So he is going to, which is going to be hard for a halfling, so he's just basically going to, I guess, cut in half on a, unless he makes a move and the bugbear slips down so that he can, like, you know, chop his head off. So he is going to step into combat. Hamel's going to run to step into combat. He's going to swing the weeping blade and rolls a 16 plus 2, 18, and it's a long sword. And don't a long sword do 1d8? So he does 1d8 plus 2 of damage. Ooh, 10 points. Oh, he kills him. So he comes up there and he stabs at the bugbear and he kills the bugbear, and they go down. And Renell is looking, and Hamel is between, Hamel is here, and so Serene, who's another, you know, she's part of it, she's a thief as well. So she walks up and she's like, you know, why are you here? You know, what are you doing here? And so the NPC, so does Renell, who is she working for? So the Thieves Guild is ran by a Trojan, but was she hired by someone else, another NPC? Let me get my look. Let's see which NPC would have hired her. So let's go to our trusty little chart. It's kind of nice I get to pull this out again. So I have my NPCs. I got a bunch of them, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it wouldn't be Trojan, of course, because he's in his shop. Yeah. So I'm going to roll a d10 to see who hired her. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, the Temple of Madeira. So Ravos the elf, who hired her to check on the temple. So she would be doing the same thing that Trojan was doing. So they did not know the lawful, they're checking to make sure what's going on. And so because she's hired by them, and because Hamel is also, he's a he is from that temple, even though he worships the halfling god, but the halfling god is tied to the part of the pantheon of Madeira. And so, oh, you know what? I forgot about his hound. I got to remember him. I got to make his own little character sheet for my hound. That way I won't forget. And so they're going to go in and find out if the relic is still there. That is the question. So here's my oracle. Is the relic still there? Yes. So the relic is still there. So they came, they succeeded on their mission to spy on the relic, and the relic is still in its place. And so that's one mystery solved, because they know that something's going on at the keep. And they know that the one thing that was supposed to keep the relic, what is the relic keeping out? What is the relic keeping out? Let's see if my prompts would give me why the relic. 21, arrive, obstacle. Arrive, obstacle. Arrive, obstacle. Arrive, so it's an obstacle is arriving. That is something against the relic that was put there. So the relic was there to keep out. I'm gonna have to say it's got to be the vampire. That's a good reason why I maybe should add. I mean, I could roll. Is it there to keep out? Is it the vampire and his undead group that is threatening? No, but I don't know what the but would be. If it's a vampire, but it's no, but no, but he might be in league with the person. It's not the vampire. Well, I can see, is it Mora and her demon group? 12, yes. So it has something to do with Mora, and but the no but means the vampire is not the one behind it, but he could be helping. And so we know that Mora, who's half demon, has been working with the cultists. So they had sent, which would be fine with the bugbears and the stuff. Ooh, that would have made, I should have rolled for Mora first, because that would have made it, now that I'm thinking about it, if I would have rolled first and it was Mora, then it wouldn't have been a bugbear. It would have been a solo monster, would have been a demon. Damn. I should have figured that out beforehand. But that's why we do this live, so that you guys can see that the complications. So we know that the temple is the demon. We know Mora. Gamora is behind it. So the bugbear should have been a demon, but it's okay. We're going to let that. And so she's the one who was threatening the cursed scroll, as the castle as well. And we know also that she doesn't know that they know about you remember the adventure they went to at the ancient, where's my thing? At the ruins of the Lost Twilight. Up here is where they went and stopped the demon ritual. Remember they saved the elf, but they had a different name. That elf had a different name. It was a female elf they're saved. And so we know that now Madura and Trojan know that they are working to stop. I think I am going to start looking at Mythic and bringing it in. You know, you guys could think about it as, if you think I should, and start to tie some of these things on here. I think Mythic might help me get things together, and because Kelsey has used it, I wouldn't feel so bad about using Mythic onto my game. I really want to keep, I don't think it violates anything with my ShadowDark rules. I think it would really help put my campaign together in a more in a better fashion. So I will work on that. I will get that together for next week. So yep, I'll be recording this weekend, and so look for another session. I know me and Scott are supposed to get together and do a duo session, and I might add another game. If I do that, it would be Dragonbane. I was able to pick up a box set at half price, and it's a beautiful game. If you haven't looked at it, You know, it's very cool. And so I love the aesthetic of it, and it does have a way to play solo as well. And again, I know I'm a ShadowDark, and I'm in the ShadowDark community a little bit, but my channel is about other different games as well besides just ShadowDark. So, but thanks everyone. We got another adventure in. Oh, before I go, let's do level up. So what I do is I give them a D10. And so the D10, so he got 7. So he went to, he's up to 25 experience. And he needs 30. I don't know, does it start back over? I can't remember. I think they start back over. So he's got 5. I'll give him 5 towards 30. So he went to level 3. Is Emrib. So let's roll his hit points. With his big 3 hit points, he gets 2. Emrib is up to 5 hit points. And so he's 3rd level. And that gives him another starting level. And so it is class talents. They get them, it's every 3rd level, right? 3rd level they get another class talent, if I remember correctly. Isn't there they get them every 3rd. Where's the little thing that says that? Why am I not? Why did I miss? I know there's a chart that shows when they level up and they get, I think it's every 3 levels they get a new skill. I think it's experience point part. Yeah, I should know these things. Awarding experience. What's it? I thought there was a chart that said every time they go up, it tells you like it's every 3rd level, right? That they get a new 39 level advancement. 39. I was right, close. Yep, it's 3rd level. They get a new talent. Once you hit a new level, you reset back to 0. That's right. All right, so wizard. Let's see. Let's roll his new talent. 2d6. So 3, 1, 4 plus 2 to intelligence. So what's his? Oh, we would go to 16, and I think that gives him plus 3. So his intelligence is going to 16. And then he gets a 2nd level spell. Nice. I'm going to roll on the spell chart. 2nd level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm just going to roll random. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Misty Step. I love Misty Step. Okay. And then let's do a D. So Shireen, will she level? No, she won't, but she's up to 18. And Himmel the Priest, come on. Oh, he is one shy. He is at 19. Okay. But I'm not going to give it to him. The dice are what they are. So there you go. Got one level up in Rib, got a new spell, and +2 to his intelligence. It's awesome. All right, again, thank you. Have a great night.